Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled Active Object in Inner Solar System Tracked by the Stereo A Spacecraft HI2 Detectors. Now, on a Stereo A HI2 SRAM image from May 26, 2018, the planet Jupiter is observed approaching the occulter. And this is the occulter, and there's Jupiter. This is the image. And this occulter is always present in the Stereo A HI2 images. Now, the object, which seemed to be a toroid space station, at least it looks like one, and was caught by Scott Sion on May 14, 2018, can also still be seen in the image. And it's right below the occulter. Then as Jupiter approaches the occulter, a large particle ejection is seen coming from about Jupiter's position behind the occulter. And we see it starting to build up here already. But the ejection cannot be coming from Jupiter, as Jupiter is not known to have the capability to create any such ejection. And if it did, it would be observed to have this type of ejection at other times and in different positions other than only behind the occulter. And we can see this ejection here. And this image is from May 29, 2018. We see where Jupiter is. It seems to have reached the edge of the occulter now. It can still be clearly seen, so it does not seem to be behind the occulter yet. And we can see this ejection. You can also see some discoloration here on the occulter itself. And we can see in this image, so this one is from the 30th, we can see that the ejection has gone from white, and I believe white is most likely heavy ions. See the heavy ions or electrons, and then we have the black one, which is most likely protons, and some white there. So definitely ejection coming from something here. And of course it cannot be Jupiter. Jupiter would be seen to do this when it was at other positions. It wouldn't just do this when it gets to where the occulter is. So the discoloration on the occulter behind Jupiter's position shows that there is an additional object present and that the occulter must be digitally added to the image so that particle emissions can still be seen right through the occulter. So in other words, the occulter is digitally added to the image or superimposed onto the image so that whatever is there still, if it's bright enough or powerful enough, still gets through. So it can still be seen through the occulter. Now, the dark discoloration seen on the occulter is, as I said, an indication that the occulter is digitally added to the image and that there is an object behind it which is emitting high energy particles, as this is what the SRAM detector is designed to detect, i.e. high energy particles, electrons, protons, and heavy ions. And these heavy ions will mostly be helium nuclei. Now this means that there was an object behind the occulter before Jupiter reached the same position from the Stereo A spacecraft's point of view. And this is an indication that the occulter is used to occult or hide an object which is tracked by the Stereo spacecraft. The spacecraft would then be designed to keep the object in the position where the occulter is then digitally superimposed onto the image. It is also possible that some or all the planets are also superimposed onto the images. This would allow the operators to aim the spacecraft in different directions without alerting the public to that fact. Now, in the equivalent view, or the HI2 wide-angle view, but in the visible light images, and we can see one of these here, the bright light emission can be seen coming from behind the occulter, and when Jupiter has not yet reached the occulter. So you can see Jupiter here. We can see the bright light emission starting to to occur here, right on the edge of the occulter. And this again indicates that there is an object present at that position with respect to the spacecraft's view, and that is responsible for the observed light emission. And again, the fact that we see light emission right through the occulter suggests that it is digitally superimposed. It's not something that's protruding from the spacecraft. It's something that is added to the image. You can see the brightness of that light emission is increasing, and the size is increasing. And there it increases even more, it grows even more. And this indicates that there has to be an object present at that position that is the source of that light emission. And here it grows even more in size, and then the ejection starts. You can see the ejection going right what seems to be Jupiter's position. But it's possible that Jupiter, this would most likely be in the inner solar system, so Jupiter would be behind it. And the fact that this seems to be occurring almost behind Jupiter suggests to me that possibly Jupiter is actually added digitally to the image as well. And we can see the light emission here again. Now it's moved further back towards the right of the occulter, and we can see this bright region here as well. So the bright light emission region diminishes in size, and whilst the ejection of light emitting plasma continues, so we can see it gave rise to this brightness here. And there are actually three separate regions of increased brightness. There's Jupiter, there's a region in front of Jupiter and the occulter with three bright objects within it. And then there's the region behind Jupiter and behind the occulter, that region there. Now, Jupiter cannot, therefore, be the source of the ejection. An object seems to be present behind the occulter, which is capable of such an ejection. And the fact that it is situated behind an occulter, which is digitally added to the image, indicates that the object is purposely kept at the occulter's position within the image. And this, in turn, indicates that the stereo A Hi2 detector is designed to keep it there and is thus tracking it. In conclusion, the stereo A spacecraft Hi2 detector seems to be designed to track an active celestial object with the ability to eject large amounts of high energy particles. An occulter seems to be digitally added to the image in order to occult or hide the object. The fact that the spacecraft is able to track the object from Earth's orbit whilst detecting what is to the left or to the right of the Sun suggests that the object is in the inner solar system. And this seems to therefore be a case of hiding something in plain sight. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.